Imagine this. You walk into any room, and the air shifts. You speak, and people lean in, not because you're shouting, but because your words carry this undeniable weight.
Hmm.
Your voice projects authority, warmth, and a captivating authenticity. You connect instantly, effortlessly with everyone around you.
Yeah.
Now, picture your words leaving a lasting impact remembered long after the conversation ends. Sounds like a superpower, right?
It really does.
It might seem like something only a select few are born with, skills that most people spend years, even decades, trying to master. But what if you could tap into these powerful communication techniques, not over years, but in minutes?
That's a compelling idea.
That's exactly what we're diving into today. For you, our dedicated learner, we're embarking on a deep dive into the very core of what makes communication truly effective.
Mm-hmm.
We've sifted through a mountain of incredible insights, cutting-edge research, and practical exercises, all designed to distill complex ideas into actionable nuggets you can use immediately.
What's truly illuminating, I think, is how we often reduce communication just talking.
Yeah.
But as we're about to uncover, it's actually a sophisticated, multi-layered tapestry of skills, many of them silent, many deeply internal.
Right.
Our mission today is to equip you not just with what these techniques are, but the profound why behind their power, and crucially, how they weave into the broader, intricate fabric of human interaction and connection.
Absolutely. This journey will take us through the foundational pillars, starting with self-awareness and the often underestimated power of listening.
Mm-hmm.
We'll then explore the nuances of verbal and nonverbal cues, delve into the art of building unshakable confidence, and even unlock the secrets to genuinely persuading and influencing others.
Sounds good.
And of course, we'll map out how to continuously refine and elevate these skills every single day.
By the end of this deep dive, you won't just have a theoretical understanding. You'll be armed with concrete, immediate actions you can implement to transform your daily conversations, elevate your professional presentations, and forge deeper, more meaningful personal connections. Get ready to activate your communication superpowers. 1.1. The true starting point: self-awareness and understanding others.
You know, it's fascinating how many people, when they want to improve their communication, they jump straight to asking, okay, what should I say? They focus immediately on the external words.
Right, the output.
Exactly. But our sources reveal a far more fundamental first step, one that often gets overlooked.
Yeah.
An internal audit. It begins with asking, who am I as a communicator?
Precisely. And this prompts a crucial question. Why is self-awareness so profoundly critical to effective communication?
Good question.
Because, as our research highlights, your communication style is as unique and complex as your own fingerprint. It's not just about knowing your strengths. Do I speak clearly? Do I articulate my thoughts well? But also about confronting your weaknesses. Well, do I genuinely listen? Am I aware of my tone, my subtle gestures, the way my body language speaks volumes before I've uttered a single word?
That's a powerful distinction. It's not just about a generic checklist, is it?
Not at all. Understanding these personal communication habits allows for highly targeted, personalized improvement. It moves you beyond generic advice to truly transformative growth.
Okay.
Think of it this way. Trying to become a better communicator without first understanding your baseline, your inherent tendencies, is sort of, well, it's like trying to build a magnificent house without a blueprint.
Right. You wouldn't do that.
You might have the best intentions, the finest materials, but without a clear understanding of your own structure, you're just guessing. You might believe you're being incredibly clear, yet your natural speaking style could be rushed or maybe muddled or perhaps riddled with unintentional ambiguity.
Yeah, I've seen that happen.
And this mismatch between your intended message and your actual delivery can lead to immense frustration for you and for the person struggling to understand you. The implications here are vast, from minor personal misunderstandings that erode trust to significant professional roadblocks that hinder collaboration and career advancement. It all starts with that internal blueprint.
And as we talk about foundations, there's one skill that our sources consistently highlight as the absolute bedrock, the true cornerstone of all effective communication. And surprisingly, it's often the most undervalued.
The overlooked superpower, initial introduction.
Our sources are incredibly clear on this. Listening isn't merely a polite social grace. It is unequivocally the first step, and often far more crucial than speaking.
Really, more important than speaking.
Often, yes. It's not simply about hearing the literal words someone says. It's about absorbing their emotion, their underlying intention, and the full context of their message. This distinction is often an aha moment for many of us, especially in a world where we're constantly mentally rehearsing our next brilliant response.
Yeah, planning what we're going to say.
Exactly.
Indeed. And when we connect this to the bigger picture, we move beyond just registering words. True understanding involves picking up on the subtext, what's left unsaid, and the emotional resonance that colors every interaction.
The subtext, right.
This is where the profound psychological process of trust building begins, or where it can unfortunately fracture. Our sources offer a remarkably simple, yet powerful practical exercise that you can try today. First, commit to focusing completely on the speaker.
Okay.
This means silencing your internal monologue, putting away distractions, and giving them your full, undivided attention. Second, resist that powerful urge to interrupt, no matter how much you want to jump in with your own thoughts or solutions.
Yeah, it's hard sometimes.
It is. And third, and perhaps most transformative, before you respond, take a moment to summarize what they've said in your own words.
That small practice of summarizing, it's incredibly potent, isn't it? It serves multiple purposes. It confirms your understanding, making the other person feel genuinely heard and valued.
Yeah, validated.
It also builds trust because they perceive you as truly engaged. And critically, it ensures that your response actually hits the mark, addressing their real point rather than just reacting to a partial understanding or what you thought you heard. Think for a moment about a time you felt truly deeply heard by someone. It's a transformative experience, right? It makes you feel respected, understood, and seen.
Definitely.
That's the powerful feeling you want to cultivate in others, and it all starts with listening.
Knowing your why behind every word.
So if listening truly is the foundation upon which all strong communication is built, then your intention acts as the blueprint, guiding every single interaction.
The blueprint, I like that.
Our sources underscore that every word you speak, every gesture you make, carries an energetic signature. And if your why, your underlying purpose for communicating isn't clear, your message becomes incredibly vulnerable to misinterpretation, or worse, it gets completely lost.
Right.
Are you speaking to inform, to persuade, to connect, to inspire, or perhaps even to challenge? You need to know.
This raises a profoundly important question. How often do we actually pause to consider our intention before we speak?
Probably not often enough.
Is your goal to genuinely help someone grow? Or is there an unconscious desire to criticize or maybe assert superiority? Are you speaking to connect on a deeper level, or merely to boast or just fill silence? A clear intention doesn't just shape the specific words you choose. It subtly influences your tone, your gestures, your facial expressions, and ultimately your credibility.
It all ties together.
Exactly. Without a well-defined why, your communication can quickly devolve into what our sources call word salad, just a jumble of words lacking clear purpose or coherent meaning. Or it can be perceived as insincere, even manipulative.
Yeah, that makes sense.
This lack of intentionality is a prime culprit behind misunderstandings, unnecessary arguments, and wasted effort in both personal and professional spheres. Consider the profound difference when giving feedback. If your genuine intention is to support growth and development, your words will land with empathy and constructiveness. If, however, your hidden intention is to merely point out flaws or criticize, that energy will be palpable to the listener, regardless of your carefully chosen words. They feel it.
They really do. 1.4, the silent majority. Nonverbal communication's staggering impact. Initial glimpse. Here's a truly eye-opening fact from our sources that consistently surprises people. Did you know that well over 55% of all communication is nonverbal?
Wow, over half.
That's right. More than half of your message is conveyed without a single word being spoken. This includes your posture, your gestures, the subtle shifts in your facial expressions, and even the strategic use of silence.
So much happening beneath the surface.
Your body literally speaks volumes, often before you even open your mouth. It's an unspoken language that carries immense weight.
What's particularly fascinating here, especially for an audience that understands the topic, is not just that body language exists, but the sheer scale of its impact, often operating below our conscious awareness.
Right, we don't always notice it consciously.
Think about the concept of congruence. When your nonverbal cues align with your verbal message, it amplifies your words, making them feel more powerful, trustworthy, and authentic.
Okay.
Conversely, if your confident words are delivered with slumped shoulders or fidgeting hands, that misalignment can completely undermine everything you're trying to convey. Your audience will instinctively pick up on that dissonance.
Yeah, you just feel something's off.
Exactly. Our sources suggest a simple yet incredibly revealing mini exercise. Stand in front of a mirror and practice saying, "I am confident and clear."
Okay.
As you say it, consciously observe your posture, your hand gestures, your facial expression. Then make small adjustments until your body naturally reflects genuine confidence and clarity. You'll be amazed at how quickly you can bring your internal state into alignment with your external presentation.
That mirror exercise is so powerful. It's incredible how quickly you realize your body can either subtly betray your message or powerfully amplify it. It truly is about making your body and your words work in concert, creating a unified and coherent message.
Absolutely, that synergy is key. 1.5, the power of voice. Tone, pitch, pace, and pauses.
Beyond the silent language of the body, there's another immensely powerful layer to communication: your voice itself. Our sources are clear. Your vocal delivery can transform even the most brilliant ideas into something dull and forgettable,
Ugh, yes. Monotone.
or elevate simple words into something truly memorable and impactful. Your voice is not just a mechanism for sound, it's an instrument capable of orchestrating your message.
Precisely. If we connect this to the broader landscape of human perception, the auditory aspect of communication often operates on a deeply subconscious level. Listeners aren't just processing your vocabulary, they're picking up on the emotional landscape painted by your voice.
The emotional landscape, I like that.
Consider the subtle dance of pitch. A higher pitch might convey excitement or uncertainty, while a lower pitch often projects authority and calm. Pace is equally crucial. Fast speech can indeed convey enthusiasm and urgency,
Right, like you're excited.
but if sustained, it can quickly overwhelm your listeners, causing them to mentally disengage. Conversely, a measured, deliberate pace can emphasize important points and signal thoughtfulness, but if it becomes too slow, it risks losing energy and sounding monotonous.
Setting that balance.
Exactly. And then there are pauses, often misunderstood as empty space. But strategically placed pauses are not voids. They are critical rhythmic elements that allow your listeners time to absorb and process your message.
Ah, okay. So pauses are good.
They create anticipation, highlight key information, and signal confidence rather than hesitation. Imagine trying to engage with a robotic, monotonous voice versus one that is warm, dynamically varied in pitch, and infused with genuine enthusiasm.
No contest.
The immediate impact on your engagement, and crucially your retention of the information, is undeniably profound. It's about consciously using these vocal tools to guide your audience through your narrative.
The universal connector.
All right, let's turn our attention to one of the oldest, most primal, and frankly, most effective communication tools in existence: storytelling.
Ah, yes. Love this one.
Forget about dry facts, figures, and bullet points for a moment. Our sources unequivocally reveal that Stories are the ultimate secret connector. Humans are hardwired for narrative. People don't just remember statistics, they remember stories because stories engage our brains on a fundamentally different, far more profound level.
What's truly fascinating here is the underlying neuroscience. When you present facts and figures, only a limited area of the brain is engaged, primarily the language processing centers.
Yeah.
But when you tell a story, it activates multiple regions of the brain. The motor cortex, if you describe action, the sensory cortex, if you describe textures or smells, and crucially, the limbic system, which processes emotion.
Wow, the whole brain lights up.
Pretty much. This holistic engagement means the listener isn't just hearing information, they're experiencing it, almost as if it's happening to them. This immersive experience, facilitated by the release of neurochemicals like oxytocin, fosters trust, empathy, and a deep emotional connection.
So it literally makes them feel closer to you.
Exactly. This makes the information stick far more effectively than bare facts, almost as if the listener is experiencing the story themselves. It transforms abstract ideas into tangible, relatable experiences, making your message not just understood, but truly unforgettable.
Yeah.
Think about explaining a new work process. Instead of listing steps A, B, and C, recount a personal anecdote. Last quarter, we implemented a new client onboarding system. It felt clunky at first, and we faced a few hiccups, like when Sarah accidentally sent the welcome email twice. But after we fine-tuned X and Y, we saw our client satisfaction scores jump by 15% and reduced onboarding time by 20%. That struggle in triumph is how we learn to truly master it. That approach immediately brings the process to life, making it relatable and memorable.
These foundational elements, self-awareness, deep listening, clear intention, mindful nonverbal cues, the power of your voice, and the magic of storytelling, these are truly the bedrock upon which all impactful communication stands.
A solid base.
Now, with that solid foundation in place, let's transition to a closer look at the words themselves and how we can wield them with incredible purpose and precision. 2.1. Choosing words with purpose, clarity and precision. It's easy to take words for granted, isn't it? Just throw them out there. But our sources are quick to remind us that words possess immense power, the power to inspire, to persuade, to heal, and even, unfortunately, to harm.
Absolutely. They land with weight.
Yet most of us vastly underestimate the profound impact of what we say and how we choose to say it. The absolute key here, as our deep dive reveals, is a heightened awareness and consistent practice in selecting every word with conscious purpose.
This brings us to a critically important question. How often do we inadvertently dilute the strength of our messages with those ubiquitous filler words, the ums, the likes, the you-knows, and the basically?
Oh, I know I do that sometimes.
We all do. What's truly fascinating and often counterintuitive is that replacing these verbal crutches with intentional pauses doesn't make you sound hesitant or unsure. Quite the opposite. It actually bestows authority upon your message.
Really, pauses add authority.
Yes. These brief moments of silence allow your listeners vital processing time, enabling them to absorb and integrate what you've just said, rather than being rushed or distracted by unnecessary verbal clutter. Precision in your language truly matters, especially when conveying confidence and competence.
Okay.
Consider the stark difference. Saying, I think this might work, sounds weak, uncertain, and invites doubt.
Yeah, wishy-washy.
Compare that with, this will work because, which immediately projects conviction and clarity. Our sources provide a fantastic mini exercise. Identify a common weak sentence you frequently use, perhaps something like, I guess this is okay, and consciously refine it to something far stronger and more precise. For instance, this approach is effective because it directly addresses the core challenge. Make it a daily practice to catch these weak phrases and swap them for more powerful, intentional language.
That's a great practical tip.
You'll find your speech becoming sharper, more persuasive, and your perceived confidence soaring in every interaction.
Making your words stick.
We touched upon the fundamental power of storytelling earlier. recognizing it as a foundational human connector. But it truly shines brightest and achieves its maximum impact within the realm of verbal communication.
Absolutely. It's where stories really come alive.
Our sources consistently reiterate that stories are the ultimate tool, the most powerful vehicle to make your spoken words resonate and become truly memorable, precisely because they effortlessly evoke emotion and forge deep empathy. They move far beyond presenting mere dry facts, creating an experience for the listener.
Exactly. If we connect this to the broader principles of cognitive psychology and memory, it's about shifting from simply telling information to vividly showing an experience.
Showing, not telling. Got it.
Instead of making a declarative statement about, say, the importance of teamwork, which can feel abstract, you can transform it into a vivid, relatable narrative. For example, consider this story from our source material. Last year, our key project was significantly behind schedule, and team morale was visibly flagging.
Okay, paints a picture.
We decided to reorganize our tasks, not just by role, but by individual strengths. And importantly, we implemented a buddy system where everyone had a partner to check in with daily. Within a single week, we saw an incredible surge in productivity, creativity blossomed. And we actually completed the project ahead of time, exceeding all our initial metrics. That wasn't just good management. That was the undeniable, palpable power of true teamwork in action.
Much more impactful than just saying teamwork is good.
Infinitely more. Stories like this are not only inherently memorable, but are also incredibly persuasive, as they create an emotional connection and provide concrete, real-world proof of a concept.
Yeah.
The sources encourage a powerful exercise. Take any professional idea you want to convey, or even a life lesson, and challenge yourself to convert it into a compelling 30-second story. Then, observe the immediate, profound shift in engagement you get from your audience.
Love that. 30-second story challenge. 2.3 tone, pace, and emphasis. Orchestrating your message. It's a subtle art, isn't it? The exact same sentence, carrying the very same words, can either ignite inspiration or induce immediate boredom, all depending entirely on how you choose to deliver it.
Oh, delivery is everything sometimes.
Our sources place immense emphasis on the critical importance of skillfully varying your tone, your pace, and your emphasis. Think of yourself quite literally as the conductor of an orchestra, with your voice as the lead instrument, guiding your listeners through the intricate movements of your message.
What's truly fascinating here is how these seemingly subtle vocal adjustments can wield such profound and immediate impacts on your audience's perception and engagement.
How so?
Consider pace. A faster cadence might effectively convey excitement, urgency, or passion, but if overused or sustained for too long, it can quickly overwhelm your listeners, making them feel rushed or unable to keep up.
Right, information overload.
Conversely, a slower, more deliberate pace can effectively emphasize a critical point, imbuing it with weight and significance. But if drawn out excessively, it can drain energy from your message and sound monotonous.
Like you're dragging it out.
Exactly. Then there's emphasis. Strategically stressing particular words or phrases acts as a spotlight, guiding your audience's attention to what is most crucial, making your meaning unmistakable. And again, the power of pauses.
Yay, the pauses.
These aren't just empty spaces. They are vital for creating rhythm, building anticipation, and critically, providing your listeners with precious moments to absorb, process, and mentally integrate the information you've just shared.
So they help retention too.
Significantly. This skillful modulation significantly reduces listening fatigue and dramatically improves the retention of your message. Our sources recommend a highly effective practice tip. Read an article, a news piece, or even a chapter from a book aloud every day. As you read, actively experiment with varying your tone, inserting strategic pauses, and shifting your emphasis. A powerful addition is to record yourself, allowing you to hear your own voice as others do, providing invaluable self-feedback for refinement.
Ooh, recording yourself. That takes courage, but probably very useful.
It really is.
Yeah.
2.4, clarity over complexity. The power of simplicity.
All right, let's deeply consider this for a moment. In a world that often mistakenly equates complexity with intelligence or sophistication,
Yeah, using big words to sound smart.
our sources unequivocally argue for precisely the opposite, an unwavering commitment to clarity over complexity. They assert that simple, unambiguous language is not only far more persuasive, but is also exponentially easier to recall and retain. There's a genuine elegance in simplicity.
This raises a profoundly important question. Why do we as communicators sometimes gravitate towards jargon, overly academic language, or convoluted sentence structures?
Yeah, why do we do that?
Often it's an unconscious attempt to appear more knowledgeable or authoritative, to signal our expertise. But the ironic reality is that this usually creates a significant barrier, inadvertently alienating your audience. It makes them feel less intelligent rather than empowering them.
Oh, interesting. So it backfires.
Frequently. This is where tools like metaphors and analogies become incredibly powerful. They bridge complex, abstract ideas to relatable, familiar concepts, making the intricate immediately understandable. They don't just clarify, they illuminate, allowing the listener to grasp sophisticated notions with ease, making them feel smart and engaged, not dumb or overwhelmed.
They distill the essence.
Precisely. Our sources challenge us with a valuable mini-exercise. Take a concept that you know exceptionally well, something technical from your field perhaps, or a complex personal philosophy, and explain it in precisely 1 minute to someone who is completely unfamiliar with it.
1 minute. Okay.
Your success isn't measured by how much you said, but by whether they truly completely understood it. This practice is a masterclass in honing your ability to be clear, concise, and impactful.
That's a brilliant exercise. 2.5 confidence through practice and handling nervousness. And building on that idea of clarity and impact, it fundamentally comes down to feeling comfortable, even powerful in your own skin when you speak.
That inner comfort.
Confidence, as our sources brilliantly articulate, isn't just an internal state. It's an energy that is audibly heard in your voice and visibly felt by your audience. It signals competence, commands attention, and critically, it makes others believe in your words, giving your message greater weight and authority.
What's truly fascinating here is the understanding that confidence is not a fixed trait you either possess or lack at birth. It is, unequivocally, a muscle, a skill that can be developed, strengthened, and projected through consistent effort.
So it's learnable.
Absolutely learnable. Even seasoned, highly experienced communicators routinely experience nervousness. The trick, as our sources illuminate, isn't to eliminate that energy, but to transform it. Techniques like taking slow, deep, diaphragmatic breaths can calm your nervous system, allowing you to channel that raw, nervous energy into focused enthusiasm. Remember, audiences are generally more forgiving and actually want you to succeed.
That's a good point. They're rooting for you.
They are. Our sources emphasize a multi-pronged approach. Rehearsing and practicing even in small daily conversations builds neural pathways that reinforce effective delivery. Preparation is paramount. Knowing your material inside and out, understanding your audience, and anticipating potential questions significantly reduces anxiety.
Preparation builds confidence.
It really does. And finally, visualization. Before an important conversation or presentation, take a few moments to vividly imagine yourself succeeding, speaking clearly, connecting with your audience, and achieving your desired outcome. This mental rehearsal primes your brain for real-life confident performance.
So you're mentally walking through it.
Exactly. This translates into a powerful leadership presence and bolsters your perceived trustworthiness in any context.
That's a perfect analogy, isn't it? It's exactly like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger, more resilient, and more naturally impactful it becomes. Every conversation, no matter how small, is a chance to strengthen that confidence.
Every single one. 2.6 active engagement. It's a conversation, not a monologue.
So, what does all this mean for the flow of actual dialogue? Our sources emphatically state that truly effective verbal communication is never, ever a monologue.
Right, not a speech at someone.
It's not about one person simply delivering information. Instead, it is about active engagement, making it a dynamic, fluid, and genuinely two-way conversation.
If we connect this to the broader landscape of human interaction, fostering active engagement is fundamentally about cultivating collaboration and demonstrating profound respect for your audience.
Respect is key.
Asking thoughtful questions, whether it's, does that make sense to everyone, or what are your initial thoughts on this proposal, or even how might this impact your team, doesn't just serve as a simple check for understanding.
It does more.
Far more powerfully, it actively invites participation, signals that their input is valued, and cultivates a sense of ownership among your listeners. When people feel heard and involved in the dialogue, they become infinitely more invested in the conversation, more receptive to your ideas, and more likely to advocate for them.
So it actually makes you more persuasive.
Absolutely. It creates a virtuous cycle of positive interaction and mutual influence.
You've mastered your words. You're clear, concise, and confident. But remember that astonishing 55% figure we discussed earlier?
The nonverbals.
Exactly. Now, let's really dive deeper into the silent power that speaks volumes, often louder than anything you consciously say.
The foundation of presence and embodied cognition.
Have you ever noticed how sometimes you can feel an immediate pull towards someone, or maybe a distinct sense of unease, without them uttering a single word?
Oh yeah, that instant feeling.
That primal, instantaneous reaction is the profound power of nonverbal communication at play. Our sources explain that your body communicates a powerful message even before you articulate a sound. It literally speaks first, setting the stage for everything that follows.
What's truly fascinating here, and something our sources delve into, is the concept of embodied cognition.
Embodied cognition. Tell me more.
This idea posits a profound two-way link between our physical state and our mental processes. It's not just about how others perceive your posture, it's about how your posture actively influences your own internal state.
So your body changes your mind.
In a way, yes. Research, famously demonstrated by studies like Amy Cuddy's work on power posing, indicates that when you consciously adopt an open, confident stance, standing tall, shoulders back, an expansive posture, it can actually lead to measurable physiological changes.
Like what?
We're talking about a decrease in cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone, and an increase in testosterone, which is associated with feelings of confidence and assertiveness.
Wow, just from standing differently.
It seems so. So by simply adjusting your posture, you can literally begin to alter your neurochemistry, influencing your thoughts and feelings of self-assurance before you even open your mouth.
That's incredible.
This makes confident posture an incredibly powerful fake-it-till-you-make-it tool, physically altering your mental state, especially crucial before high-stakes interactions. Our sources recommend a simple yet transformative mini-exercise. Stand in front of a mirror and consciously practice an open, confident stance.
Okay.
Feet shoulder-width apart, shoulders relaxed and pulled slightly back, chin gently lifted. Notice the subtle internal shift, the feeling of groundedness and readiness that it instills,
I'll have to try that.
amplifying and clarifying your message.
Let's unpack this further. Your hands, for instance, aren't just for holding your coffee or gesturing idly. Our sources consistently highlight that purposeful hand gestures add rhythm, provide crucial emphasis, and can even vividly help your listeners visualize your ideas.
They're like
Yeah.
visual aids.
They are truly extensions of your words, acting as silent guides to your audience, helping them to follow your train of thought.
This raises an important question for self-reflection. Are your gestures genuinely helping your message, or are they inadvertently distracting from it?
Good point. Distracting gestures.
Think about the implications. Fidgeting, perhaps tapping your fingers, fiddling with a pen, or constantly adjusting your clothes signals nervousness, uncertainty, or discomfort, which can undermine your verbal authority.
Yeah, makes you look unsure.
Similarly, closed gestures, like habitually crossing your arms, can unconsciously signal defensiveness or resistance, creating a barrier between you and your audience.
Right, like you're closed off.
Conversely, open palms and expansive, purposeful movements convey honesty, transparency, and confidence, powerfully reinforcing your verbal message. When you're explaining a complex process, for example, you can use your hands to map out the sequential steps or subtly point to key components, literally drawing your ideas in the air.
Making it visual.
This enhances comprehension and engagement. Our sources suggest a practical exercise. Record yourself giving a brief 1 to 2 minute explanation of something you're passionate about. Then review the recording, specifically observing your gestures. Are they flowing naturally with your words? Are they adding clarity and emphasis, or are they unintentional distractions?
Or recording. Okay.
This self-awareness is key to making your hands an asset to your communication. 3.3 facial expressions. The emotional bridge to sincerity.
Your face, without question, is your emotional billboard. Our sources emphasize that a genuine smile, a thoughtful gaze, or an expression of genuine curiosity not only adds incredible warmth and relatability to your interaction, but crucially, people feel sincerity in your expression.
They read your face instantly.
They instinctively trust those emotional cues more profoundly than words alone.
If we connect this to the broader field of social psychology and even neuroscience, facial expressions are the primary conduit through which we convey authenticity and emotional resonance. When your face genuinely reflects the energy of your story, whether it's the excitement of a new idea, the concern over a challenge, or the triumph of an achievement, that emotion resonates deeply with your audience. It's an emotional bridge that helps people not only understand your words, but feel them, fostering a much deeper level of trust and connection. Your audience isn't just hearing a story, they're experiencing the emotion alongside you.
Sharing the feeling.
Exactly. Our sources offer a powerful practice tip. Try expressing a range of emotions without using words happiness, curiosity, concern, surprise. Record yourself doing this.
Okay, acting class time.
Sort of. You'll quickly observe how rapidly your face communicates complex feelings, even down to micro-expressions, those incredibly brief, involuntary flashes of emotion that flicker across your face, often revealing true sentiments before conscious control can mask them.
Micro-expressions. Fascinating.
Mastering this nonverbal authenticity ensures your entire self is aligned with your message. 3.4. Eye contact. The gateway to connection and trust.
Here's where it gets truly fascinating and often a little uncomfortable for some people. Eye contact.
Yeah, this one can be tricky.
It is universally one of the most powerful nonverbal cues we possess. It's not just a sign of engagement. It's a direct gateway to connection, an immediate indicator of confidence, and a profound builder of trust.
What's particularly nuanced and important here is the critical balance. Too little eye contact can inadvertently suggest evasiveness, discomfort, or a lack of confidence, making you appear untrustworthy or disengaged.
Right. Looks shifty.
Conversely, an unbroken, intense stare can feel intimidating, aggressive, or even inappropriate, making the other person deeply uncomfortable.
The stare down, yeah, avoid that.
Definitely. The sweet spot, according to our sources and extensive research, is typically maintaining eye contact for approximately 50–70% of a conversation.
50 to 70%.
Okay. This duration signals engagement and sincerity without becoming overwhelming. It allows for natural breaks, demonstrating that you're thoughtful and processing information, not just performing. A particularly useful trick, especially if direct eye contact feels too intense for you, or when addressing a larger group, is to focus on the bridge of the nose or the space between the eyebrows.
The bridge of the nose trick.
To the observer, this simulates direct eye contact without the same level of intensity. allowing you to maintain a sense of connection without feeling overwhelmed. Our sources challenge you with an exercise. In your next significant conversation, consciously strive to maintain soft, confident eye contact within that 50–70% range. Observe the subtle but significant shifts in engagement, the increased attentiveness, and the palpable sense of connection you foster in the other person.
I'm going to try that bridge of the nose thing. 3.5 tone alignment, the synergy of verbal and nonverbal. So what does this all mean when we bring it all together? Your spoken words inherently carry meaning, but your body, your gestures, your expressions, they add immense depth, context, and emotional weight.
They complete the picture.
If these two channels aren't in sync, if your body language subtly betrays your words, the integrity of your message is compromised, and it risks being completely lost. This creates a cognitive dissonance for the listener.
This raises an absolutely vital question about authenticity, which is the cornerstone of effective communication. People are incredibly adept at instinctively recognizing and trusting alignment between verbal and nonverbal cues.
You just know when it feels right.
Exactly. When you confidently state, "I believe this is truly the best approach we can take," and your posture is open, your gestures are purposeful, and your facial expression reflects conviction, your message lands with unparalleled force and sounds infinitely more convincing.
Mm-hmm.
The absence of this alignment, however, creates friction. If your words declare confidence but your slumped shoulders, fidgeting hands, and averted gaze signal uncertainty, your audience will almost always trust the nonverbal message over the verbal one.
Actions speak louder than words, essentially.
Precisely. Our sources provide a highly effective exercise to develop this congruence. Pick a clear, declarative sentence, for instance. "I believe this is the best approach," or "I am excited about this opportunity." Practice saying that sentence repeatedly, but each time, consciously focus on aligning your posture, your gestures, and your facial expressions to perfectly match the sentiment of the words. Feel the difference in how powerful and authentically you convey that message.
Practice makes perfect, or at least aligned.
The underestimated tool.
Here's a subtle but extraordinarily powerful tool, often overlooked or even feared: silence.
The power pause.
Our sources tell us that deliberate silence is a potent nonverbal communication tool. Pauses aren't simply empty gaps in conversation. They are strategic elements that create emphasis, allow for crucial reflection, and powerfully signal confidence.
What's truly fascinating here is how our culture often has an ingrained discomfort with silence, a perceived need to fill every conversational void.
Yeah, awkward silences.
However, embracing intentional silence, paradoxically, signals immense confidence and thoughtfulness. When you pause after an important point, it allows your words to truly land, to feel significant and considered. It grants your listeners essential time to absorb, process, and mentally integrate your message, rather than rushing them.
Gives them a chance to think.
Exactly. In fact, sometimes your strategic silence can convey more profound meaning and carry greater weight than any words ever could. It creates a space for reflection, for the message to sink in. Our sources recommend a powerful exercise. In your next conversation or presentation, intentionally pause for a beat or two after delivering a key idea or asking a significant question. Observe your listeners' reactions. You'll often notice them leaning in slightly, their gaze sharpening, or a thoughtful nod, clear indicators of deeper engagement and active processing.
Interesting. Use silence strategically.
This demonstrates that you trust your message to stand on its own without needing immediate verbal reinforcement.
These nonverbal cues, from your posture to your pauses, are absolutely critical for projecting your message with authenticity and impact. But let's now circle back to that foundational superpower we touched on earlier, listening, and delve into it with even more depth, because its true power is often underestimated.
Yes, let's revisit listening. Crucial. 4.1, active listening. Beyond just hearing words.
Remember when we initially highlighted listening as foundational? Our sources now push that understanding even further, describing it not just as a basic skill, but as a genuine hidden
Or
superpower.
superpower, huh?
It's far from a passive act. Active listening is a dynamic, empathetic engagement that has the power to transform ordinary interactions into profoundly meaningful connections.
Precisely. If we connect this to the larger context of human cognition and interaction,
Mm,
active listening is fundamentally about cultivating a state of being fully present, truly being there, rather than mentally drafting your next response or letting your mind wander.
shutting down the internal chatter.
Exactly. It means moving beyond merely registering the words someone is uttering to genuinely understanding the totality of their message, their emotions, their underlying intentions, the unsaid anxieties, or the unspoken aspirations. Our sources break down active listening into three incredibly powerful, actionable techniques.
Okay, what are they?
First, reflective listening. This involves paraphrasing what the other person has said in your own words. For instance, if someone expresses frustration, you might say, "So if I'm understanding correctly, you're feeling overwhelmed by the project's tight deadline because of the unexpected client changes. Is that right?"
So checking your understanding.
Yes. This isn't just parroting. It validates their feelings, ensures you've grasped their message accurately, and demonstrates genuine engagement. Second, asking clarifying questions. Rather than making assumptions, which are often the enemy of understanding, this technique encourages you to probe gently for more detail. Questions like, "Can you tell me a bit more about what that felt like?" Or "Could you elaborate on the specific challenge you encountered?" Prevent misinterpretations and foster deeper dialogue. And third, avoiding interrupting. This is a discipline.
The hardest one, maybe.
It can be. Allow the speaker to finish their thoughts completely. Silence, in this context, is not an awkward void. It's a deliberate, respectful opportunity for you to absorb, to process, and to formulate a thoughtful, well-considered response.
Okay. Reflect, clarify, don't interrupt.
Practicing even just one of these techniques in your next conversation can have a transformative effect, not only in preventing assumptions, but also in significantly reducing potential conflict and building immediate rapport.
The bridge to true connection.
All right, let's unpack something incredibly profound here: empathy. Our sources don't just categorize it as a mere soft skill, they elevate it to the critical bridge that transforms listening from a mere act of information gathering into a truly profound connection.
Empathy bridge. I like that.
It's not simply about intellectually understanding someone's words. It's about actively feeling what others feel, tuning into their emotional landscape.
What's truly fascinating here, and deeply supported by psychological research, is how powerful empathy is in creating genuine human bonds. It's linked to our mirror neuron system, which allows us to neurologically simulate the feelings of others.
So we're wired for empathy.
We absolutely are. When people perceive that you genuinely understand their emotions, their intentions, and their needs, they feel seen, validated, and respected. This is when they become incredibly receptive to your ideas and much more open to collaboration.
Makes sense.
Consider a story, a poignant one from our sources that perfectly illustrates this. There was a manager who was initially dismissive of an employee's growing concerns about a demanding project. The employee felt unheard, and morale across the team visibly dropped. Later, the manager, prompted by observing the negative atmosphere, consciously shifted their approach. They pulled the employee aside, listened not just to the words of stress, but truly felt the underlying frustration and burnout. The manager acknowledged the employee's stress, not by agreeing with every complaint, but by validating the feeling. I can see why the situation would be incredibly stressful and overwhelming.
Just acknowledging the feeling.
Exactly. From that empathetic space, they worked together to reprioritize tasks, redistribute workload, and found a viable solution. The difference in team morale and productivity was profound. Respect and trust, once eroded, were not just restored, but deepened.
Wow, powerful example.
Empathy doesn't demand agreement. It demands understanding. And that understanding is the bedrock of powerful influence. Our practical tip here is to consciously identify the speaker's emotions in any given conversation and then verbally validate them. A simple phrase like, I can absolutely see why that would be incredibly stressful for you right now, or it sounds like you're feeling a real sense of accomplishment and I can appreciate that, can unlock profound connections.
Validate the feeling. Got it.
Being fully present in conversation.
In our hyper-connected, always-on world where distractions are constant and attention spans are fragmented, mindfulness in conversation has become an exceptionally rare and precious gift.
It really is rare these days.
Our sources emphatically stress that effective, empathetic listening unequivocally demands presence of genuine, undistracted focus. This means truly setting aside your phone, resisting the urge to mentally draft your grocery list, and putting all other mental chatter on hold while someone is speaking to you.
This raises a critical, even uncomfortable question for many of us. How many conversations are we truly fully in on a daily basis?
Probably fewer than we think.
The cognitive science on multitasking is clear. It's largely a myth. We don't actually do multiple things simultaneously. We rapidly switch our attention, diminishing our capacity for deep focus on any one task.
So multitasking is hurting our listening.
Definitely. Mindful listening fundamentally transforms every interaction from being purely transactional, a mere exchange of information, into something deeply meaningful and connection-rich. It's about consciously choosing to focus every ounce of your attention on the other person.
Everything.
This includes their tone of voice, their pace of speech, their subtle gestures, their shifts in facial expressions, and the underlying emotions they convey, not just the literal words they utter. Our sources offer a powerful yet simple exercise. In your very next conversation, commit to focusing entirely 100% on the other person.
100% focus.
Okay. Afterward, take a moment to reflect. What did you learn that went beyond just the verbal content? What feelings or unspoken messages did you pick up that you might otherwise have missed? You'll likely discover a depth and richness to the interaction that you often overlook.
That sounds like a worthwhile challenge. 4.4, the ripple effect of listening. Trust, relationships, and influence. So when we synthesize all of this, what does it truly mean? The impact of genuinely listening actively, empathetically, and mindfully isn't just confined to the immediate moment of that interaction.
No, it goes way beyond that.
Our sources compellingly describe it as having a profound ripple effect that radiates outwards, strengthening relationships, building deep, enduring trust, and significantly enhancing your overall influence.
If we connect this to the broader principles of social psychology and relationship dynamics, when individuals feel authentically heard, truly understood, and genuinely valued, a remarkable shift occurs.
What kind of shift?
They become dramatically more open, more collaborative, and far more receptive to your ideas, even if those ideas are challenging or different from their own. It transforms the fundamental dynamic of the interaction, moving it from potential conflict or simple transaction to one of mutual respect and shared understanding.
This is the whole relationship.
It leaves lasting, positive impressions that cement relationships over time. This foundational element of listening underpins every single advanced communication skill we've discussed today and are about to explore. Our sources advocate for a powerful daily habit. Dedicate at least 10 minutes each day to practicing fully present listening.
Just 10 minutes.
Turn off your phone, close your laptop, eliminate all distractions, and simply give someone your undivided attention. Afterward, reflect not just on what was said, but on how the other person felt during that interaction and what deeper insights you gained. This consistent practice compounds over time into an incredible, almost effortless relationship building power.
With this deep understanding of listening as your unwavering foundation, let's now transition to how you can project yourself with unshakable confidence, because that self-assured presence is what truly amplifies and brings to life all these other powerful skills.
Yes, confidence is the amplifier. 5.1, building confidence in communication, presence, preparation, mindset.
Confidence isn't just an internal feeling, something you keep to yourself. Our sources beautifully articulate that it's a palpable, visible energy that others perceive, often before you've even uttered a single word.
You can just feel it from some people.
It radiates from you, influencing how others interpret your message. And the truly empowering news: confidence isn't an innate trait, it's a dynamic skill you can absolutely learn, cultivate, and project through a powerful combination of internal belief, diligent preparation, consistent practice, and a resilient mindset.
What's truly fascinating here, and something many people struggle with, is the realization that a lack of communicative impact often stems not from a deficit of skill, but from pervasive self-doubt.
That inner critic.
Exactly. Our sources reveal that building unshakable confidence isn't about striving for an unattainable perfection. Rather, it's about mastering your presence, meticulously preparing, and cultivating a robust mindset. It fundamentally starts internally by reprogramming your inner dialogue.
How do you do that?
Well, first, internal confidence. This begins by actively identifying and replacing negative self-talk, those insidious internal critics, with empowering affirmative statements. Instead of thinking, I'm going to stumble and look foolish, consciously reframe it as, I am clear, I am composed, and I am confident in expressing myself.
Positive self-talk.
This internal shift primes your brain for success. Second, preparation. This is a non-negotiable. Knowing your material inside and out, understanding your audience's needs and perspectives, and proactively anticipating potential questions are incredibly potent anxiety reducers.
Reduces the fear factor.
Thorough preparation doesn't eliminate nervousness entirely, but it replaces paralyzing fear with a sense of readiness and control. Third, practice and visualization. Repetition truly is the mother of all skill. Regularly practicing your delivery, even in small, low-stakes scenarios, builds neural pathways that reinforce effective communication.
Build those pathways.
Complement this with visualization. Vividly imagining yourself successfully navigating a conversation or delivering a presentation, seeing yourself speaking clearly, connecting with your audience, and achieving your desired outcome. This mental rehearsal significantly primes your brain for optimal real-life performance. And fourth, handling nervousness. Even the most seasoned communicators experience a physiological response to high-stakes situations.
The butterflies.
The key, as our sources emphasize, is to reframe that nervous energy. Instead of perceiving it as a sign of impending failure, view it as a surge of adrenaline that can be channeled into focused enthusiasm. Deep breathing techniques can calm your nervous system, grounding exercises can keep you present, and even a simple, genuine smile can send signals to your brain to release endorphins, transforming that energy into a more positive and engaging presence.
So use the energy, don't fight it.
Precisely.
It's absolutely like building any muscle, isn't it? The more consistently you exercise it in every interaction, big or small, the stronger, more resilient, and more naturally impactful your confidence becomes. Every single conversation is a chance to strengthen this vital muscle.
Every single one is a rep. 5.2, persuasion and influence through words, authenticity, clarity, and connection.
All right, let's deeply consider this for a moment. Have you ever been in a conversation or presentation where you felt an undeniable pull, a compelling urge to align with someone's ideas?
Oh yeah, totally drawn in.
That, right there, is the art of persuasion in action. Our sources make a crucial distinction. This isn't manipulation. Instead, it's about communicating your ideas with such clarity, authenticity, and resonant connection that people willingly, genuinely, and enthusiastically align with your perspective.
Ethical influence.
Exactly. It's about ethical influence, creating win-win scenarios.
This raises a profoundly important question. What are the core ingredients of this ethical and effective persuasion? Our sources outline several powerful, timeless principles that give your words structure, gravity, and impact.
Okay, lay them on me.
First, clarity. This is paramount. Confusion is the enemy of persuasion. If your message is muddled, complex, or filled with jargon, you've lost your audience before you've even begun. Simple, direct, and unambiguous language is always more impactful.
Keep it simple.
Second, credibility. People are naturally more inclined to be persuaded by those they trust and respect. Demonstrate your expertise, share relevant experiences, and most importantly, exhibit unwavering integrity in your interactions.
Build that trust.
Third, emotion. While facts certainly inform, it's emotion that truly inspires action and fosters connection. We are emotional beings. Craft your message to appeal not just to logic, but to the aspirations, values, and concerns of your audience.
Connect on an emotional level.
Fourth, reciprocity. This is a powerful social psychological principle. People are more likely to be persuaded if they first feel that you have provided value to them or have helped them in some way. Give generously, and influence often follows.
You first.
And fifth, social proof. Highlight examples of others who have successfully adopted or supported your idea. People are often influenced by what they perceive others are doing or believing, leveraging the power of collective validation.
Show that others agree.
These principles, when woven together, are incredibly potent, whether you're leading a team, marketing a product, or even guiding your children. Our sources also reiterate the immense power of storytelling for influence.
Back to stories.
Instead of merely stating a benefit, illustrate it with a vivid narrative. For example, last year, our team was constantly struggling with energy dips and afternoon slumps, impacting our productivity and mood. We decided to implement a simple, daily 10-minute morning stretch and mindfulness break. Initially, there was some skepticism, but within a month, morale skyrocketed, reported energy levels significantly increased, and we started consistently hitting our deadlines with less stress. This small, consistent habit completely transformed our work culture. Additionally, framing your message positively is critical.
Positive framing.
Instead of focusing on what might be lost, if we don't meet this goal, we'll fail, frame it around what can be gained. By achieving this goal, we unlock exciting new opportunities for growth and innovation. And finally, connecting with the audience means tailoring your message to their specific needs, their deeply held values, and their unique motivations.
Know your audience.
Truly understanding their world allows you to speak directly to what matters most to them.
So you're building confidence. You're learning the art of ethical persuasion. But the journey, as we've consistently emphasized, truly doesn't end there. True mastery in any field is a lifelong pursuit, a continuous evolution.
The work is never really done, is it? 5.3, continuous improvement, the secret of master communicators.
Here's where it gets really inspiring. Our sources reveal a profound truth. Master communicators are rarely, if ever, born that way. They are, in essence, ordinary individuals who made an extraordinary commitment, a commitment to relentless, intentional, and consistent practice.
The commitment is the key.
Their journey is one of continuous improvement, recognizing that mastery is a dynamic process, not a static destination.
What's truly fascinating here is the cyclical nature of this growth. It begins with self-reflection, pausing after every significant interaction to honestly ask yourself, did I truly listen deeply? Did my words authentically align with my intention? What could I have done differently or better?
That honest look in the mirror.
This honest self-assessment is incredibly powerful. Building on this, master communicators actively seek feedback from trusted colleagues, friends, or mentors. This isn't about inviting criticism, it's about actively soliciting valuable insights that you might be blind to. It's a powerful tool for accelerating growth.
Gotta ask for feedback.
But the journey extends beyond that. It also involves expanding knowledge and vocabulary. Master communicators are lifelong learners. They read widely, exposing themselves to diverse perspectives and complex ideas. They actively seek to learn new words, understanding their precise nuances, and engage in varied conversations that push them beyond their comfort zones.
Always learning.
And practicing diverse scenarios. They don't just practice in the same context. They seek out different communication challenges, perhaps through role playing, volunteering for new speaking opportunities, or consciously engaging with individuals from different backgrounds to build flexibility and adaptability in their communication style.
Get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Then there's embracing mistakes as opportunities. This is perhaps one of the most significant mindset shifts. Instead of viewing errors as failures, they see them as invaluable learning experiences.
Learning from mistakes.
Our sources share a fantastic mini story to illustrate this. During a crucial, high-stakes presentation, a speaker unexpectedly stumbled over a complex statistic, momentarily losing their train of thought. Instead of panicking or apologizing profusely, they paused, took a visible deep breath, chuckled lightly, and said, "Well, that statistic clearly needed another cup of coffee this morning. Let me clarify."
Good recovery.
They corrected themselves with grace and continued with renewed composure. The audience didn't perceive a flaw. They admired the speaker's humanity, resilience, and genuine presence. The presentation ultimately became even more memorable and impactful because of that moment. The lesson here is profound. Mistakes don't define you. How you respond to them does. And finally, consistency and daily practice. Even dedicating just 10-15 minutes daily to consciously apply one new technique or reflect on a recent conversation compounds into exponential growth over time. And lifelong curiosity and adaptability. Ultimately, master communicators remain perpetually curious, open to learning from every single interaction, and are constantly willing to adapt their approach based on new insights in evolving contexts.
So it's clearly a marathon, not a sprint. Every single conversation you have, every interaction is an incredibly valuable chance to practice, to refine, and to continuously improve these vital skills.
Absolutely. Every day is practice. Hashtag tag tag outro.
Well, what a deep dive that was. We've truly unpacked so much today, from understanding the invisible foundations of self-awareness and intentionality to harnessing the hidden superpower of active listening.
Covered a lot of ground.
We've explored the silent language of nonverbal cues, learned how to build and project unshakable confidence, and even delved into the art of ethical persuasion. It all fundamentally boils down to a commitment to self-awareness, intentional practice, and a mindset of continuous growth.
Absolutely.
These aren't just isolated techniques. They form a cohesive, powerful framework for genuinely impactful and transformative communication.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, remember that knowledge alone, while important, isn't sufficient. It's the consistent, conscious action that transforms potential into tangible skill.
Action is key.
Every single interaction you engage in, whether it's a quick chat with a colleague, a presentation to a client, or a heartfelt conversation with a loved one, is an invaluable opportunity to practice, to observe, and to subtly refine these skills.
Every interaction counts.
By committing to this journey, you'll find not only your communication evolving, but the very fabric of your relationships and connections transforming, leading to deeper understanding and more profound trust.
Here's something truly profound for you to mull over as you go about your day. Our sources beautifully capture this essence. People may forget what you said, but they will never forget how you made them feel.
That's powerful, Maya Angelou. Right.
Indeed. Take a moment to sit with that thought. What kind of feeling do you want to consciously cultivate and leave with others after every single interaction you have?
And this raises an incredibly powerful question. What if you approached every single conversation, not merely as a transactional exchange of information, but as a deliberate opportunity to genuinely connect, to truly understand the person across from you, and to consciously choose the positive impact you want to have? How profoundly might that transform your daily life, the depth and richness of your relationships, and even your own perception of yourself and your capabilities in the world?
So we challenge you. Choose just one technique from this deep dive. Perhaps it's practicing reflective listening, or consciously adopting a confident posture, or using more purposeful pauses in your next meeting, and commit to practicing it consciously, deliberately, today.
Just one thing to start.
Start small. Celebrate every tiny step of progress, and watch as your transformed communication skills quite literally begin to reshape your world.
Your words, your presence, and your listening skills are incredibly powerful tools, capable of crafting connections and inspiring action. Use them intentionally, practice relentlessly, and you will undoubtedly find not only your communication changing, but the very fabric of your connections deepening, leading to a richer, more influential, and truly meaningful life.